US National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is likely to visit India next week. Earlier, his travel plans to India have been postponed twice. With the trip scheduled next week, Sullivan will become the first US official to visit India after the Modi government 3.0 took off. So, why is the visit so important for bilateral ties? And what's on the cards when the US NSA Jake Sullivan visits India? News9 Plus Decodes. To begin with, let's get you the fine details of the high-profile visit. Sullivan could arrive in New Delhi around June 18th after Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to Italy for the G7 meeting. Over the next few days, he will participate in a big-ticket bilateral meeting with his counterpart, India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. What's on the agenda during the Doval-Sullivan meeting? Apart from other important issues, Doval and Sullivan are likely to discuss India's acquisition of the Stryker armoured vehicle for the army and also manufacture of the GE 414 aircraft engines by Hindustan Aeronautics, and also along with these two, the acquisition of the 31 MQ-9B drones for all three services. Also up for discussion will be the implementation of the ambitious initiative on critical and emerging technologies. So, what is the ICET? The Initiative on Critical and Emerging Technologies was announced in May 2022 by US President Joe Biden and Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the goal to expand the bilateral strategic technology partnership and defense industrial cooperation between the governments, businesses and academic institutions of India and the US. The two countries have placed particular emphasis on collaboration in high technology areas that include semiconductors, next generation telecommunication, artificial intelligence and defense initiatives. So, what is the Stryker deal? The Stryker deal involves an agreement to jointly produce Stryker armoured vehicles. This can help strengthen India's ground forces. The deal was arrived at during the 2+2 meeting in 2023 with External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on the Indian side and Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and Defence Secretary Lloyd Austin on the American side. It is part of a roadmap for defense industry cooperation between the US and India adopted in June last year. The Stryker will be a joint production effort. It is likely to be manufactured in India. Just who will do it, how many vehicles will be made, and by when are all yet to be decided. How was Sullivan's visit to India delayed? The Doval-Sullivan meeting was long delayed, with Sullivan having to postpone his visit twice. Biden's top national security aide was earlier scheduled to be in New Delhi in April. However, the trip was delayed in view of the evolving situation in West Asia in the aftermath of the Hamas-Israel hostilities. Before that, Sullivan was to travel to India earlier in February. But because of the global crisis in Ukraine and West Asia, the annual review meeting on ICET was shelved.